Caller, you're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Man, it's PJ. Sorry for blowing up your phone lines a little bit.
No problem. It wasn't just you. It was a lot of people. I had to block a couple because it just kept popping up. But anyway, that's besides the point. What's going on, man?
All right. Sort of on the topic of Hillary. It's obvious you've been paying attention to a lot more elections than I have. This would be my first one. But I want your sincere opinion about this. And this is a question about Hillary, but do your best to stop yourself from inputting bias into this, because I'm honestly curious how this plans to happen.
Okay.
Hillary says a lot about, especially when regarding Bernie Sanders, like as soon as she gets a nomination, she'll unite the Democratic Party against whatever Republican opponent she has in the general election. This is assuming she gets the nomination. What I'm trying to understand, and again, this isn't me like being snarky, but she keeps, as we go on, she keeps doing these rather dishonest tactics and statements from herself and her staff.
Yep.
She keeps saying like he's a misogynist. She says that she suggested he was more corporate than her because he had more time in Congress than her. She's constantly breaking the rules, her and Bill, with regards to lobbying at polling places and in the New York subway. All of this stuff. It's obvious she's not only pragmatic but shrewd and opportunist. But all that stuff will certainly not win the hearts of the people that she hopes to unite come November. So I'm trying to understand. Let me understand. How exactly do you think, if at all possible, she'll win the hearts of the people and unite the Democratic Party when she's being outright comic book villainous with how she's trying to get above Sanders?
I'm looking for the article now. Oh, here it is in the Boston Globe. Great question. Let me take it off air because there's a lot of people jumping in this conversation.
No problem, man.
857-600-0518. You guys can join the conversation. And I'm getting ready to talk about Bill de Blasio. But to answer your question, she has only one hope, in my honest opinion. This is not my biased opinion. Yes, I'm biased. Okay. You just reminded me of something. Before I talk about this, do me a favor, folks. Never say that Benjamin Dixon is not biased, because I am. I'm totally biased to the left. I'm further left than Bernie Sanders. So don't say I'm not biased. I do try to be objective and I do try to be fair. Now I'm going to be objective and I will be fair. And I'm going to try to set aside my bias against Hillary Clinton to give you a nice, objective, fair analysis of what this caller just asked. All right. Now, that being said, Hillary has one hope, and that is for Donald Trump to be the nominee. That's it. Well, that's her best hope. She has another hope that I don't think she realizes, and that's if Ted Cruz becomes the nominee. Because if Ted Cruz becomes the nominee, I will do my best to convince every single one of you that Hillary Clinton is the best thing since sliced bread, because I will never, ever sit back and allow somebody like Ted Cruz, who I feel is far worse, infinitely worse than Hillary Clinton and infinitely worse than Donald Trump, because he takes all of the bigotry of Donald Trump, all of the hatred of Donald Trump. She takes all the neoliberalism of Hillary Clinton and magnifies it, and takes all of the neoconservative foreign policies and magnifies it. And he adds on top of that religious zealotry. So for everyone who's saying don't draw false equivalencies, I'm telling you now, I've been warning you, you better not hope Ted Cruz becomes the nominee, or else you would stop watching my show, and you're just going to have to stop watching my show, because Ted Cruz, to me, is the Manchurian candidate for bigoted evangelicalism. Now, but that's not what the caller asked. The caller asked, how will she unite the party? She will unite the party for other people if Donald Trump becomes the nominee, because everyone feels like Donald Trump is the second coming of Satan. Right? That he's Satan's spawn. I really could care two shits about Donald Trump. He doesn't scare me. Racism has never scared me because I lived it all my life. I know no more than any other Republican. I'm sorry. Donald Trump doesn't scare me any more than any other Republican. So they can't use Donald Trump against me, but they will use Donald Trump for identity politics 101. If Donald Trump becomes the nominee, then yes, I think Hillary Clinton can unite enough people, not the party. That's the big difference. It won't be the party. It won't be people to the far left. It will be people who are afraid of Donald Trump, including some Republicans. So it's not going to be about uniting the party. It's going to be about Hillary Clinton cobbling together a coalition to fight back against Donald Trump, which I think is going to be easy because people fall prey to identity politics very easily. And the reason I say it like that is because a lot of people won't see Ted Cruz as the same way I see him. A lot of people don't see Ted Cruz as the greater threat of the two in terms of if he actually got in office. And a lot of people don't see John Kasich as the threat that he really is. Hillary Clinton will lose to John Kasich. I tell you that. She would lose to John Kasich because John Kasich is just as bigoted in his policies, but he's got a nice personality. She won't be able to cobble together a coalition to beat John Kasich. She can do it against Donald Trump, and I would help her do it against Ted Cruz. Full disclosure. I hope that answered your question. But in terms of people that she's playing this game against, I don't know. I was chatting with Tom Hartman on Twitter today, and some of the tactics that they're using are beyond the pale. And I just don't see, I see if they go further with this idea of, what did they say? Destroy, defeat, disqualify, and then worry about unifying the party. If they continue down that road, I just don't see them being able to get any progressives, not percentage wise, not a meaningful substantive percentage wise in the fall. I don't. Their only hope will be for Donald Trump to win, or Ted Cruz, because then I will launch my own political crusade against Ted Cruz. Sorry. Hope I don't. If I disappoint you, I hope you understand. The world I come from, I know Ted Cruz, and I know him well. I know he's more dangerous than anybody else running right now, hands down, no questions asked. Period. Because he adds that fervor, that religious zealotry that is going to be so much more damaging. John Kasich is dangerous, but he doesn't have that religious zealotry. He's not going to try to wage a crusade against Islam. He'll just wage a crusade against your rights. This is a screwed up election, folks. The more I talk about it, the more I realize our choices are like, God dang.